Now, this is a bit of a departure from my usual videos. It was an experiment I did a few years ago trying to film myself lamping rabbits at night. Now I'm using my old Theoben MFR and it's running FAC of course with Bisley Magnums, and I'm trying to film with the little ATN Shot Trak. Now it's quite a small camera with a small lens, so I had the Nightmaster 800 torch I was using turned up quite full and on a fairly wide beam to give the camera enough light to get a decent picture. And for the most part it did seem to work, except the light did seem to have, I don't know, maybe it was a loose connection or a faulty battery at the time. Plus, now and again the camera would just dull to dark, total dark picture, and all you would see would be the eye of the rabbit. But otherwise I did manage to get something, and hopefully you'll see that in the video. Well, he didn't hang around long enough to say hello, but hopefully we'll get an opportunity before long. Now, as far as I remember, I filmed this in late summer, early autumn, as the fields are still quite dry at this time of year, because once the winter comes in Northern Ireland the fields get that wet and boggy it's very hard to stalk close enough to rabbits, as it sounds like you're walking around in Wellington boots filled with custard. Ah, there's a couple of rabbits there. Now let's see if I can get through this gateway and get an opportunity for a shot. Yep, they're still there, but they look as if they're quite spooked. They're sitting a lot closer to the hedge and look as if they're about to disappear any minute. Not surprising really, as the Nightmaster 800 lamp that I'm using is turned up quite bright, a lot brighter than I need to actually shoot, just to get a good picture with the camera. That's the first rabbit in the bag. You may have noticed the red dot from the laser I have mounted to the side of my scope. This was something I had put together as an experiment to help me judge ranges using the night vision, and thought it would be worthwhile trying it with the lamp. I zeroed the laser with the crosshairs for 40 yards, which was my rifle's zero. So if I shone it on the rabbit and the laser shone directly in the middle of the crosshairs, I knew to aim dead on. If the laser shone to the left or right of the centre crosshair, I knew I was either closer or further away. And it worked reasonably well, but it was just an approximation. That's the first bunny bagged up, so let's see what else we can find. Now, the way I usually try and go about this is to work my way along the hedgerows, shining the light now and again out into the field to try and spot the rabbits out in the open, and hope that they'll hunker down into the grass, hoping that I'll walk by them without noticing them, instead of running the gauntlet back towards the hedgerow for safety towards me. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's the theory of it, and it depends how much pressure the rabbits have been under. As you can see with that one, he decided to run towards the hedge instead of hunker down and hide in the grass. It might not have been the best of nights for this because it is quite calm, which makes it a lot easier for the rabbits to hear you coming. You're far better with a breezier night, which helps hide any noise you make and keeps your scent away from the rabbits if you walk into the wind. Oh, what's that? Another rabbit? But he's already on the move. It might be dark to you, but the rabbits can still hear you, smell you, and possibly even see your silhouette against the night sky as they look up at you from the ground, especially if you've come over a rise or a hill. Come on, rabbit, stop for me. This is where the camera's really struggling, even with all that light from the Nightmaster 800. No, he's away. But here's a much easier one here. But the camera decides to totally black out. You can just about make out the eye in the middle of the screen. And he's down. Just as the camera decides to work for me again. I think this was one of the reasons why I decided to shelve this footage until now, and why I never really tried to film lamping rabbits since. Well, thankfully there's nothing wrong with my shot placement. We'll just give this bunny's belly a wee squeeze to get rid of any excess urine before I put him into the game bag. Now this is the field I shone the lamp round at the start of the video from the laneway, and spotted a few rabbits in it, but I decided to leave it to the last, as I might have spooked the rabbits walking down the laneway to get to the gateway into the field. But there seems to be one or two rabbits still in it yet. I got set up on the sticks and shone the light onto the field, but the rabbits were already quite spooked and heading for the hedgerow. I had to uplift the shooting sticks and shift my position to get a decent shot. It was well struck, but it still took off running and I lost it in the lamplight. I got onto the second one, ranged it with the laser, and dropped it with a much cleaner shot. The ground here was quite boggy as the shooting sticks was digging into the ground a bit, and it's fairly rutted and soft underfoot, making it hard to walk in the night. I made my way as quietly as possible up the field through the rutted ground, as I'd seen another couple of rabbits a little further up the field. Again, both of them were on the move, heading towards the hedge. This one definitely wasn't making it easy for me. But finally he stopped long enough for a decent shot. I spotted the second one. He was a bit further into the dark. The camera didn't pick him up very well. I gave him a wee bit of a holdover and took the shot. One piece of advice: if you're going to shoot at night, get yourself a head torch. It doesn't have to be a terribly expensive one, so long as it helps you see where you're going. It will help you search for any downed rabbits you've got, because believe you me, they can disappear in long grass very easily. Plus it'll help you make your way around the field because you can get disorientated. It'll help you over boggy or rough ground. Plus you'll be able to see what you're doing to open gates or climb gates or any other obstacles. Now, I know I shot 4 rabbits in this field, but even after searching up and down the hedgerow with the headlamp, I only found 3. Now, whether the first rabbit I shot that seemed to run a short distance before disappearing out of the lamplight made it to the hedgerow or dropped somewhere where I couldn't find it, I do not know. But I put the effort in to try and find it, and really that's about all you can do in this sort of circumstance. Well, I hope you enjoyed the film, and sorry about all the dark footage, but it was nice to see the open MFR out and about again while I still had it, and hopefully someday I'll find a better way of filming this and use the new FX Crown.